Every great achievement in human history, every empire built, every invention born, every life transformed, began with a single seed, a thought. A thought, invisible and intangible, is the source of everything visible and tangible. Your entire reality, every circumstance that surrounds you today, every victory you've ever known, and every limitation you still face, is nothing more than the harvest of yesterday's thoughts. This is not philosophy, it is law. The quality of your thinking shapes the quality of your life. And yet, most people drift through their days as prisoners of their own minds. They allow thoughts of fear, doubt, failure, and limitation to pass unchecked through the gates of their consciousness. They believe whatever their minds whisper to them, never realizing that they are not the servants of their thoughts. They are the masters of them. The first and most vital truth you must claim each morning is this: I am the master of my mind, and I command my thoughts. This is not arrogance. This is responsibility. It is the conscious decision to stop living as a victim of mental habit and to become the architect of your destiny. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever possess. It is a factory constantly producing thoughts. Those thoughts become actions, actions become habits, habits become character, and character becomes destiny when you choose the raw materials carefully. Thoughts of strength, confidence, purpose, abundance. The factory produces results that match them. But if you allow negativity, fear, and weakness to dominate, the factory will build a life that reflects exactly that. Each morning, before the noise of the world invades your mind, remind yourself of your authority. You are not obligated to accept every thought that enters your head. Thoughts are not commands, they are suggestions. And you, not they, decide which ones stay and which ones leave. A negative thought cannot harm you if you refuse to give it energy. A doubt cannot derail you if you choose not to dwell on it. As surely as a gardener removes weeds to protect the flowers, you must guard your mental garden, pulling out the thoughts that do not serve your purpose. This mastery begins with awareness. Pay attention to what you think about most. What stories do you repeat to yourself? What assumptions do you accept without question? If those thoughts do not support the future you want, they have no right to remain. Replace them deliberately with new ones. Instead of, I can't, choose, I will learn. Instead of, I'm not good enough, declare, I am growing stronger every day. Instead of, it's impossible, insist, it will be done. These are not empty affirmations. They are commands to your subconscious mind, and the subconscious obeys the commands it receives most often and most intensely. Remember, your thoughts do not merely describe your reality. They create it. Every invention that changed the world once existed only as a thought. Every great leader, artist, and builder first saw the invisible before they shaped the visible. The same principle holds true for your own life. You must think prosperity before you attract it. You must think courage before you demonstrate it. You must think possibility before it appears before you. This is why mastering your mind is not optional. It is the foundation of everything else. And mastery requires discipline. Just as you would not allow strangers to walk uninvited into your home, you must not allow destructive thoughts to wander unchecked through your mind. Discipline yourself to replace them the moment they arise. Speak your chosen thoughts aloud if you must. Build rituals of reflection, journaling, or meditation to strengthen your awareness. Surround yourself with words, books, and people that reinforce your chosen direction. Every choice that strengthens your mental discipline increases your command over life itself. When you declare, I am the master of my mind, you reclaim power that has always been yours. You stop waiting for circumstances to change and begin changing yourself. You stop being tossed by the winds of emotion and start steering your own ship. You realize that external change is the echo of internal change, and the first step of internal change is to govern your thinking. The truth is simple yet profound. You were born with the power to shape your destiny, and that power lives in your thoughts. Each thought is a seed, and you are the gardener. Plant wisely, cultivate relentlessly, guard fiercely, because if you do, the harvest will be abundance, success, joy, and freedom beyond anything you have yet imagined. So each day, speak this truth into your soul. I am the master of my mind. My thoughts obey me. I choose them with purpose, I shape them with intention, and through them, I shape my destiny. Hold that belief. Live by it. And watch your world transform, not by chance, but by choice. Every person is born with immense potential, but potential without direction is like a ship without a compass. It may drift for years, tossed by winds and waves, but it will never reach a destination. The difference between those who merely exist and those who truly live is not strength, intelligence, or opportunity, it is purpose. Purpose is the force that turns ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. It is the invisible fire that fuels perseverance, sharpens focus, and turns dreams into reality. And that is why, every single day, you must remind yourself, I have a clear purpose, and I walk toward it every day. A clear purpose is more than a wish. It is more than vague hope. It is a definite direction, a reason to rise when the world pushes you down, a destination so vivid that it pulls you forward even when the path is steep. Without it, you are easily distracted, easily discouraged, and easily defeated. But with it, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone, every setback becomes a lesson, and every moment, no matter how small, becomes part of a grand design. The tragedy is that most people never define their purpose. They chase the opinions of others, the expectations of society, or the fleeting rewards of comfort. They move, but they do not advance. They work, but they do not build. They are busy, but they are not fulfilled. Their energy is scattered because their aim is unclear. But those who rise to greatness begin their journey differently. They stop drifting and decide where they are going. They take the time to ask, what is my mission? What do I want my life to stand for? What impact do I want to leave behind? Once you answer those questions, clarity is born. And clarity is power. A clear purpose acts like a magnetic force. It draws the right ideas, people, and opportunities into your orbit. It sharpens your decision-making because now every choice is measured against a single standard. Does this move me closer to my purpose or pull me away from it? When your purpose is clear, distraction loses its power. You stop chasing everything and start building something. But clarity alone is not enough. Purpose must be followed by daily action. Too many people set lofty goals and then wait for the perfect time to pursue them. That time will never come. Progress is built one step at a time, one day at a time. You don't have to take giant leaps. Just move forward today. Even the smallest step, if taken in the right direction, carries immense power. Each step builds momentum. Each step strengthens belief. And belief, once strong enough, becomes unstoppable. Remind yourself every morning today, I walk toward my purpose. Say it when you rise and when you rest. Let it guide your schedule, your conversations, your decisions. Purpose is not a thing you chase occasionally. It is a way of living. It demands consistency. It requires you to trade excuses for effort, comfort for growth, and fear for faith. And here is a truth many forget. Your purpose is not just about what you achieve. It's about who you become along the way. The pursuit of a worthy purpose shapes your character. It teaches patience when progress is slow. It builds resilience when the road is rough. It forges discipline, courage, and vision. It transforms you into someone capable of living the life you once only imagined. The purpose itself gives direction, but the pursuit gives strength. When doubt creeps in, and it will, return to your purpose. When you feel lost, return to your purpose. When the world tells you to quit, return to your purpose. It is your anchor in chaos, your compass in confusion, and your fuel in exhaustion. It reminds you why you started and shows you why you must continue. And here is the most powerful part. Once you live with clear purpose, the universe begins to align with you. People sense your conviction. Opportunities recognize your intention. Circumstances bend to your will. Life opens doors that remain locked to the aimless. And suddenly, what once felt impossible begins to unfold before your eyes. Not because the path became easy, but because you became focused. So say it aloud until it echoes through your soul. I have a clear purpose. My steps are deliberate, my actions intentional. Each day I move forward, even if the progress is small, even if the journey is hard, because every step brings me closer to the life I am meant to live. Live by that truth, and you will no longer wander. You will no longer drift. You will no longer question where you belong. Instead, you will know where you are going, and more importantly, why. Because the most powerful force in your life is not chance, luck, or circumstance. It is a clear purpose, lived, pursued, and walked toward every single day. There is a truth that separates the average from the exceptional, the weak from the strong, the dreamers from the achievers. Setbacks are not the end. They are the beginning. Every obstacle you face, every failure you endure, every disappointment you encounter carries within it the seed of a lesson that can lift you higher than you've ever been before. But most people never discover that seed. They see only the pain, the loss, the frustration. They see a dead end where there is, in fact, a door. If you want to live a life of greatness, you must think differently. You must train your mind to respond to setbacks not with despair, but with curiosity. Not with defeat, but with determination. Each time life pushes you down, you must rise and declare, I learn and grow from every setback. Say it until it becomes your instinct. Believe it until it becomes your power. Understand this: no one has ever reached success without stumbling along the way. Every inventor, leader, and builder you admire has walked through failure's fire. They have been rejected, ridiculed, ignored, and broken, yet they rose again, stronger and wiser each time. Why? Because they understood that setbacks are not punishments. They are teachers. They arrive not to destroy you, but to refine you. A setback is feedback. It reveals what must change, what must improve, what must evolve. It shows you where your strategy is weak, where your mindset is fragile, where your patience is thin. Without setbacks, you would remain untested and therefore unprepared. Setbacks sharpen you. They strengthen the muscle of perseverance. They deepen your understanding. They prepare you for the greater challenges that lie ahead. But here's the secret: you must choose how to interpret them. Most people respond to failure with self-pity. They say, I knew I couldn't do it, and they quit. But the wise say, what is this teaching me? And they continue. That one decision, to see the lesson instead of the loss, is the difference between those who give up and those who grow. When you encounter a setback, pause. Step back from the frustration and examine it. Ask yourself, what can I learn here? What part of my plan needs adjustment? What strength must I develop to overcome this next time? If you search with sincerity, the answers will appear. And when they do, apply them immediately. Growth is not in the lesson alone. It is in the action that follows. Another truth worth remembering: setbacks are proof that you are moving forward. The only people who never fail are those who never attempt anything meaningful. If your path is smooth, You are not climbing high enough. Obstacles appear precisely because you are stretching beyond your comfort zone. They are signs of progress, not punishment. When you embrace them as such, fear loses its grip on you. Instead of avoiding failure, you will pursue growth, knowing that every stumble is a step closer to strength. Also, learn to detach your identity from your results. A failure does not mean you are a failure. It means a method did not work, a plan needs refinement, a skill requires improvement. The most dangerous lie you can believe is that a setback defines your worth. It does not. What defines you is how you respond. Rise, learn, and press forward, and no setback can hold you down. And remember, time changes everything, including the meaning of your struggles. What seems like a curse today often reveals itself as a blessing tomorrow. The delay that frustrates you now may be protecting you from a bigger mistake. The rejection that wounds you today may be redirecting you toward a far greater opportunity. Life's detours often lead to destiny if you keep moving forward. So when failure visits your doorstep, do not close the door. Invite it in, listen to its lesson, and let it strengthen you. Speak this truth into your mind. I am not defeated by setbacks. I am shaped by them. I do not fear failure. I learn from it. Every challenge makes me stronger. Every fall makes me wiser. Every obstacle is a step on the path to my greatest self. When you live with this mindset, setbacks lose their power to break you. They become stepping stones beneath your feet. You stop fearing the storms and start dancing in the rain, knowing that each drop is watering the roots of your growth. Greatness is not born from perfection. It is born from persistence, from the unshakable belief that nothing can stop you from learning, growing, and rising again. So the next time life pushes you down, don't curse the ground. Get up, dust yourself off, and thank the lesson. Because you are not falling backward, you are falling forward. And every step forward, no matter how painful, is a step closer to the life you were born to live. There is a principle that governs every success story humanity has ever written. Opportunity is not luck. It is attraction. The doors that open, the people who appear, the chances that seem coincidental. None of these are accidents. They are drawn to you by the thoughts you think and the actions you take. They are pulled into your life by the energy you radiate and the effort you invest. If you want opportunity to come knocking, you must become the kind of person it wants to visit. That begins with one powerful declaration: I attract opportunity through my thoughts and actions. Most people spend their lives waiting for luck, for timing, for someone else to notice them. But waiting is a form of surrender. Life does not reward the idle observer. It rewards the active creator, the one who shapes his inner world so powerfully that the outer world bends to match it. The truth is simple, but profound. What you focus on, you attract. What you believe, you manifest. What you act upon, you multiply. Your thoughts are magnetic. They carry frequency, and that frequency draws in experiences that match it. If your mind is consumed with fear, limitation, and doubt, you attract situations that reinforce those feelings. But if you fill your mind with purpose, confidence, and vision, you attract people, ideas, and opportunities aligned with those qualities. This is why it is vital to guard your thoughts as you would guard your most precious treasure. Every morning, speak into your mind. I am open to opportunity. I am ready to receive it. I am becoming the person it is searching for. But thought alone is not enough. Opportunity is not drawn to daydreamers. It is drawn to doers. It does not chase those who merely wish. It seeks those who work. When your actions are the bridge between the invisible and the visible, they are proof to the universe that you are serious about your desires. When you take consistent, deliberate action toward your goals, Even small steps, you signal that you are ready. And readiness is the signal that summons opportunity. Consider the story of any self-made success. They did not sit idly, hoping the right door would open. They prepared themselves. They studied their craft. They built their skills. They knocked on doors. And because they were prepared and persistent, doors did open, sometimes in ways they could not have predicted. What looks like luck from the outside is almost always preparation meeting opportunity. And preparation is entirely within your control. Another key truth: opportunity often disguises itself as challenge. Too many people miss their chance because they expect it to arrive wrapped in comfort. They want it to look easy, feel safe, and appear at the perfect time. But opportunity often shows up wearing the mask of hard work, risk, and uncertainty. It hides inside the project that scares you, the idea that stretches you, the door that might reject you. If you train your mind to recognize opportunity in all its forms, not just the obvious ones, you will begin to see doors where others see walls. And when opportunity does appear, you must seize it boldly. Hesitation is the enemy of destiny. The world does not wait for the uncertain. If you have prepared your mind and acted with intention, you will know when the moment arrives. And when it does, step forward with faith. Even if you are not fully ready, move. Growth often happens in motion, not before it. As you act, the path reveals itself. Repeat this truth to yourself daily. Opportunities are drawn to me because I think in alignment with my vision and act with purpose toward my goals. This affirmation is not mere words. It is a mindset. It is a decision to become an opportunity magnet by thinking boldly, acting decisively, and preparing constantly. And do not underestimate the compound power of consistent effort. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every conversation you initiate, all of these are signals. They broadcast your readiness to the world, and the world responds. The mentor appears. The partnership forms. The idea takes shape. The chance arrives. You call it coincidence, but it is not. It is the universe matching your inner state with outer circumstances. So stop waiting for opportunity. Attract it. Shape your thoughts into visions so clear they become irresistible. Shape your actions into habits so strong they make you unstoppable. Focus your energy not on the things you cannot control, but on the two things you can: what you think and what you do. For when those two align, opportunity has no choice but to find you. Each morning, declare it boldly: I attract opportunity through my thoughts and actions. My mind is a magnet for the possibilities I seek. My actions invite the doors I desire to open. I am not waiting for luck. I am creating it. Alive by that truth, and you will never chase opportunity again. It will chase you, drawn by the power of your focus, the strength of your belief, and the unstoppable momentum of your daily action. One of the greatest battles you will ever fight is not against the world. It is against the quiet voice inside you that whispers, I'm not enough. It is that whisper that kills more dreams than failure ever could. It is that hidden belief of unworthiness that keeps countless people living far below their potential, accepting scraps when they were meant to feast, settling for survival when they were born for abundance. If you wish to rise, you must silence that voice once and for all and replace it with a truth that changes everything. I am worthy of wealth, health, love, and success. A worthiness is not something you earn. It is something you accept. You were born with it. The moment you entered this world, you carried infinite value within you. But the world often teaches you to doubt it. It tells you that you must prove yourself before you deserve good things. It convinces you that only the lucky, the gifted, or the privileged are worthy of abundance. That is a lie. The truth is that every human being has the power and the right to live a life rich in joy, prosperity, health, and love. The question is not whether you are worthy. It is whether you will believe you are. Your belief in your worth sets the standard for what you will accept in life. If you believe you are unworthy of success, you will subconsciously sabotage opportunities. If you believe you do not deserve love, you will push it away when it tries to enter. If you believe wealth is for others, you will never pursue it boldly enough to receive it. But when you deeply know that you deserve these things, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are, everything begins to change. Repeat these words daily. I am worthy of abundance. I am worthy of joy. I am worthy of every good thing life can offer. Say them with conviction until they no longer feel like wishes, but truths. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to create. And remember, life does not give you what you want. It gives you what you believe you deserve. But worthiness is not passive. It is not sitting idly, waiting for good things to appear. Worthiness calls you to act in accordance with your value. If you truly believe you deserve health, you will care for your body with intention. If you believe you deserve wealth, you will study, build, and pursue it without apology. If you believe you deserve love, you will treat yourself with kindness and surround yourself with relationships that reflect that truth. Your actions become a reflection of your belief, and that belief shapes your reality. Many people fear embracing worthiness because they confuse it with entitlement. They believe that saying, I deserve success, means expecting it without effort. Nothing could be further from the truth. Entitlement demands without giving. Worthiness inspires you to rise to your potential. It does not say, the world owes me. It says, I am capable, I am deserving, and I will give my all to create the life I desire. This is the mindset of every person who has achieved greatness. And here is a powerful truth. When you know your worth, you stop settling. You stop tolerating toxic relationships, meaningless work, or a life that feels smaller than the one you imagine. You raise your standards, not because you are greedy, but because you finally understand that your life is a reflection of your belief. And as your standards rise, so does your reality. Wealth, health, love, and success are not distant dreams reserved for a chosen few. They are natural states available to anyone who believes they are worthy of them and is willing to act accordingly. Look at nature. Abundance is everywhere. Trees do not apologize for growing tall. Rivers do not feel guilty for flowing freely. The sun does not question whether it deserves to shine, and neither should you question whether you deserve to live fully. Every day, declare this truth: I am worthy of wealth, health, love, and success. My life is a reflection of my divine value. I accept abundance in all its forms, and I walk boldly toward the future I deserve. Let those words become the foundation of your mindset, because when you truly believe them, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop doubting and start building. You stop shrinking and start rising. And in that moment, the world begins to respond. Opportunities appear. Relationships flourish. Health strengthens. Success multiplies. Not because you begged for them, but because you became the person who knows they are worthy of them. You are enough. You always have been. And the moment you claim that truth, the life you dream of stops being a fantasy and starts becoming your reality. There is one quality that stands above talent, education, or even genius. It is the one trait shared by every person who has built something lasting, overcome impossible odds, and achieved greatness against all obstacles. Persistence. Skill can open a door, luck can give you a start, and opportunity can light the path. But only persistence will carry you to the destination. That is why, each day, you must declare with unshakable conviction, I will persist until I succeed. The world does not yield its treasures easily. It tests your resolve. It throws obstacles in your path, delays your progress, and tempts you with the comfort of quitting. Most people surrender at the first sign of resistance. They give up after one rejection, one failure, one setback. But the few who rise above the rest understand a deeper truth: failure is never final unless you stop trying. The journey is never over until you decide it is. And success is never denied to the one who refuses to quit. Persistence is not blind stubbornness. It is intelligent determination. It is the decision to keep moving forward, not because the road is easy, but because the goal is worth it. It is the inner voice that whispers, "One more try," even when the world screams, "Give up." It is the quiet strength that carries you through the storm when your strength feels spent, and it is the unwavering belief that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to victory. Understand this: every great success story is built on a mountain of failures. The difference is that the winners did not stop climbing. They stumbled, they fell, they bled, and they doubted. But they got back up and continued the climb. Every no they heard taught them how to reach the yes. Every door that slammed shut taught them where to knock next. Every failure refined their character, sharpened their skill, and strengthened their resolve. Persistence transforms defeat into progress and turns obstacles into stepping stones. But persistence is not just an action, it is a mindset. It is the belief that no matter how many times you fall, you can and will rise again. It is the understanding that delay is not denial, that struggle is not a sign of weakness, but a test of strength. When you adopt this mindset, quitting ceases to be an option. You may change strategies, you may adjust your path, but you will never abandon the mission. Each day, remind yourself, I will persist until I succeed, not until I am tired, not until it is convenient, but until I reach my goal. This simple phrase is more than motivation. It is a contract with yourself. It is a commitment to keep showing up long after the excitement has faded and the road has grown hard. It is a promise that you will not allow temporary defeat to become permanent failure. And persistence has a strange power. It bends circumstances in your favor. The longer you remain in motion, the more likely you are to cross paths with the right people, the right ideas, the right opportunities. Most people stop digging when they are inches from gold, but the persistent keep digging and they find it. Success, more often than not, goes not to the fastest or the strongest, but to the one who simply refuses to stop. Persistence also builds something far more valuable than external success. It builds you. Every time you push forward when quitting feels easier, you strengthen your character. Every time you endure when others would give up, you deepen your resilience. And every time you rise after a fall, you become more unstoppable. Persistence doesn't just get you to the goal, it transforms you into the kind of person who can keep that goal once it's achieved. And remember, persistence does not always mean massive leaps. It often means small, consistent steps taken daily, even when no one is watching, even when results are invisible. A single step may seem insignificant, but 1,000 steps, taken with unwavering persistence, can cross any distance. So when the path grows dark and the summit feels distant, repeat these words with conviction. I will persist until I succeed. I will rise each time I fall. I will try again and again, and I will not stop until I have achieved what I came here to achieve. Hold that truth close and let it become the fuel that drives you forward, because the road to success is rarely straight and the journey is never without struggle. But those who persist, those who keep moving when others stop, always reach the destination. It does not matter how many times you fall. It does not matter how long it takes. It does not matter how difficult the climb. If you refuse to quit, success cannot hide from you forever, because the universe yields to the one who refuses to yield. So make this your daily promise: I will persist until I succeed, no matter the cost, no matter the challenge, no matter how long it takes. And one day, when the world calls you lucky or gifted, you will smile, because you will know the truth: you simply never stop. Within every human heart, there are two opposing forces battling for control: faith and fear. One builds empires, the other destroys dreams. One lifts you above your circumstances, the other chains you to them. One whispers, "It's possible," while the other hisses, "It's impossible." Every day, you must choose which voice to obey. And if you wish to rise beyond mediocrity and step into greatness, your choice must always be this: I will think and act with faith, not fear. Faith is the greatest power you possess. It is invisible yet unstoppable. It turns thoughts into reality, ideas into achievements, and dreams into destiny. Faith sees beyond what is. It envisions what can be. It does not deny difficulty, it overcomes it. It does not ignore obstacles, it transforms them into opportunities. With faith, mountains move, doors open, and impossible becomes inevitable. But fear is a thief. It steals your potential long before you even attempt to use it. It paralyzes you with doubt, convinces you of your weakness, and magnifies every obstacle until the path forward seems hopeless. Fear will tell you to wait until the conditions are perfect, knowing they never will be. It will tell you to lower your ambition, knowing your greatness threatens its control. If you let fear rule your mind, it will gladly write the story of your life, and it will be a story of regret. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain trapped by mediocrity is rarely talent or intelligence. It is the presence of faith and the absence of fear. The most successful individuals in history did not begin with certainty, they began with belief. They did not know how they would achieve their dreams. They only knew they would. They stepped forward not because the path was clear, but because their faith told them the path would reveal itself as they walked. To think and act with faith is not to ignore reality. It is to refuse to be limited by it. Faith acknowledges the obstacle, but believes in the power to overcome it. It sees the mountain, but focuses on the summit. It faces fear, but chooses courage. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is mastery over it. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Every great dream you hold within you was placed there for a reason. It is not a coincidence. It is a calling. And faith is the bridge that carries that dream from your mind into your reality. But that bridge is built step by step, decision by decision, action by action. Faith without action is a wish. Faith with action is power. When you think with faith, you believe. When you act with faith, you create. So each morning, remind yourself, I choose faith over fear. I will think bold thoughts and take bold actions, even when I do not see the entire staircase. Let that be the compass that guides you. Speak your goals aloud even when they feel distant. Visualize your success even when circumstances seem bleak. Act with confidence even when the outcome is uncertain, because faith has a strange way of turning invisible possibilities into undeniable realities. And know this: fear loses its power when faced directly. It grows stronger when you hide from it, but weaker when you challenge it. Each time you step forward in faith, even a small step, fear shrinks a little more. Each time you take action despite your doubts, you reclaim more power over your destiny. And soon, fear becomes nothing more than an echo, a faint memory of a voice that once held you back. There will be moments when your faith is tested. There will be times when everything seems to fall apart. In those moments, Remember that faith is not about what you see. It's about what you believe before you see it. The night is darkest before the dawn, and breakthroughs often come just beyond the point where fear tries hardest to stop you. Hold fast. Trust the process. Keep moving forward. And know that the power that created the dream within you will guide you to its fulfillment if you refuse to surrender. So let this be your daily command. I think and act with faith, not fear. I will not allow doubt to dictate my actions. I will not let fear decide my future. I will walk boldly in the direction of my vision, trusting that each step will lead me closer to my destiny. I will believe in my ability, in my purpose, and in the unseen forces that work in my favor. Because the truth is simple. Fear builds walls, but faith builds bridges. Fear limits, but faith liberates. Fear paralyzes, but faith propels. And the life you dream of, the success you desire, exists on the other side of faith. Choose faith every day. Think with faith. Speak with faith. Act with faith. And soon, you will look back on a life that once seemed impossible and realize that your belief made it inevitable. There is no kingdom greater than the one within you. The thoughts you think, the feelings you nurture, and the beliefs you hold shape every decision, every action, and ultimately every result you experience in life. Yet most people wander through their days as slaves to their own minds, reacting to every circumstance, controlled by every fleeting emotion, and living as if they have no power over their inner world. But the truth is this: you are not a servant of your mind, you are its master. And every day you must affirm this power. I am the master of my mind and emotions. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It can build empires or destroy them. It can lift you to the highest heights or bury you beneath your own limitations. The thoughts you allow to occupy your mind become the blueprint for the life you build. If those thoughts are filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, your actions will mirror them, and so will your results. But if your thoughts are filled with courage, confidence, and purpose, your actions will align with strength, and your destiny will follow. The key to mastery is awareness. Most people never pause to question their thoughts. They accept every idea that enters their mind as truth, and in doing so, they surrender their power. But mastery begins the moment you realize that you choose which thoughts to entertain and which to reject. You are not your thoughts, you are the thinker. And just as a gardener pulls weeds and plants seeds, you must uproot every thought that weakens you and plant those that strengthen and empower you. And so it is with your emotions. Emotions are powerful forces. They can fuel your passion, deepen your relationships, and drive you toward your goals. But when left unchecked, they can also cloud your judgment, distort your reality, and lead you astray. Anger can destroy what patience could build. Fear can paralyze where faith would act. Doubt can silence the voice of your potential. That is why mastery over your emotions is not about suppressing them. It is about understanding and directing them. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. That choice, your response, is where your power lies. Between stimulus and reaction, there is a space. And in that space is the freedom to choose. The moment you pause and choose your response instead of reacting blindly, you rise above circumstance and reclaim your power. Each day, remind yourself, I am the master of my mind and emotions. Say it when fear tries to creep in. Say it when anger threatens to take control. Say it when doubt whispers in the dark. Because mastery is not a single decision. It is a daily discipline. It is the commitment to guard your inner world with the same vigilance that a king guards his throne. When negative thoughts arise, and they will, do not wrestle with them. Replace them. Counter, I can't, with I can. Replace I'm not enough with I am capable. Turn this is impossible into with effort, it will be done. Over time, your mind becomes a fortress of strength and negativity finds no place within it. Likewise, when emotions surge, do not let them rule you. Feel them, acknowledge them, but guide them. Turn anger into determination. Transform fear into caution and clarity. Channel sadness into growth and reflection. Emotions are not enemies, they are signals. Mastery is learning to interpret those signals and direct them toward purpose rather than destruction. Remember, your external world is a reflection of your internal state. Chaos within creates chaos without. Peace within builds peace without. If your mind is disciplined, focused, and aligned with your purpose, no external force can derail you. But if your mind is scattered and your emotions uncontrolled, even the smallest obstacle can overwhelm you. This is why the greatest victories are first won within. The battles that matter most are not fought on battlefields or boardrooms. They are fought in the silent chambers of the mind. Win there, and you win everywhere. Lose there, and no victory in the outer world will last. So declare it daily. I am the master of my mind and emotions. Let this truth guide your actions and shape your destiny. You will no longer be tossed by the winds of circumstance, nor chained by the storms of feeling. You will rise above reaction and live by intention. You will think thoughts of power, act with clarity, and feel with purpose. Mastery is not perfection, it is progress. Some days will test you, some thoughts will challenge you, and some emotions will tempt you to lose control. But with awareness, discipline, and practice, mastery becomes your natural state. And from that state, anything is possible. Because the one who masters his mind masters his destiny. And when you rule the kingdom within, no force on earth can conquer the world you choose to build without. The greatest prison in the world is not made of iron bars or locked doors. It is built within the mind. It is the silent belief that we are not worthy. It is the quiet voice that whispers, I'm not enough. I don't deserve more. Success is for others, not for me. And this belief, more than any external obstacle, is what keeps most people from rising to the life they truly desire. That is why you must remind yourself every single day, I am worthy of success and abundance. You were not born to struggle endlessly, to live in scarcity, or to settle for less than your potential. You were born with infinite value, limitless potential, and the ability to shape your destiny. The same intelligence that created the stars and oceans lives within you. The same power that fuels the greatest leaders, thinkers, and creators flows through your veins. There is nothing inferior about you, except the beliefs you choose to accept. Yet, from childhood, most of us are taught limitation. We are told to be realistic. We are warned not to dream too big. We are conditioned to believe that wealth is for a lucky few, that success requires special privileges, that abundance is out of reach. Over time, these ideas root themselves deep in the subconscious, and we begin to sabotage ourselves, turning away opportunities, doubting our abilities, and settling for far less than we deserve. But these are not truths, they are lies. And the moment you reject them, you reclaim your power. Say it aloud. I am worthy of success and abundance. Not because of what you've achieved, not because of what others think of you, but simply because you exist. Worthiness is not something you earn. It is something you recognize. Just as the sun does not need permission to shine, you do not need permission to rise. Success is not reserved for the chosen few. It is available to anyone who chooses to believe in their worth and act upon it. But believing in your worth is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is understanding that success and abundance are natural outcomes of growth, effort, and purpose. Just as an apple tree does not apologize for bearing fruit, You should not apologize for pursuing greatness. Your dreams were not given to you by accident. They are signals of what you are capable of achieving. And the universe responds not to your doubts, but to your belief. When you truly believe you are worthy, something extraordinary happens. You stop playing small. You stop shrinking to fit into other people's expectations. You stop accepting crumbs when you deserve the feast. You set higher standards, make bolder decisions, and take courageous actions. Opportunities that once seemed invisible begin to appear. Doors that were once closed swing open, and people who once doubted you begin to follow your lead. Because the world does not give you what you want, it gives you what you believe you deserve. Of course, worthiness alone is not enough. It must be paired with action. Belief without effort is wishful thinking. But when belief and action walk hand in hand, there is no force that can hold you back. When you believe you are worthy of success, you pursue it with confidence. When you believe you are worthy of abundance, you take bold steps toward it, and each action you take reinforces the belief even more. Do not confuse worthiness with entitlement. Entitlement says, "The world owes me." Worthiness says, "I am capable, and I will work for what I desire." Worthiness empowers you to rise, while entitlement keeps you stagnant. And when you act from worthiness, you attract abundance not by demand, but by becoming the kind of person who naturally creates it. Remember, success is not a reward for the chosen few. It is the inevitable result of aligned belief and persistent action. And abundance is not a rare treasure. It is the natural state of a mind that knows its value and acts on it. The more you believe in your worth, the more you invite abundance into your life, not just in wealth, but in relationships, health, opportunities, and purpose. So each day, speak these words with conviction. I am worthy of success and abundance. Say it until it becomes your truth. Say it until doubt has no place to hide. Say it until every decision you make and every step you take reflects that belief. Because the moment you accept your worth, the universe begins to mirror it back to you. You are not here to live a small life. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to grow, to create, to impact, to thrive. Success is not beyond you. It is within you. Abundance is not something you chase. It is something you claim, and it begins with one unshakable belief: you are worthy. Every great achievement in human history, every empire built, every invention created, every dream fulfilled, began the same way, with a single step. The road to your destiny is not traveled in leaps and bounds. It is built one decision, one action, one step at a time. And so each day you must remind yourself of this truth. Today I take one step closer to my dream. Dreams are not fulfilled in an instant. They are not delivered at your doorstep simply because you wish for them. They are forged through consistent effort, relentless focus, and daily action. Too many people wait for the perfect moment, the right time, the right resources, the right circumstances before they begin, but that moment never comes. The perfect time is not a date on the calendar, it is a decision in your mind. And the decision is this: to take the next step today. The mountain may look overwhelming from its base, and the journey ahead may seem impossible. But the climber does not conquer the mountain in a single bound. He conquers it step by step. The writer does not finish a masterpiece in one night. He writes one page at a time. The builder does not raise a city in a day. He lays one brick, then another and another. The size of the dream does not matter. What matters is that each day you move forward. When you commit to taking one step every day, you harness the most powerful force in the universe: momentum. Momentum transforms small actions into unstoppable progress. It turns effort into habit and habit into mastery. And over time, Those seemingly small steps become the very path that leads you to everything you desire. Too many people live trapped by the illusion of someday. Someday I will start the business. Someday I will write the book. Someday I will pursue my passion. But someday is not a day on the calendar. It is a lie fear tells you to keep you stagnant. Dreams are not achieved someday. They are achieved today, one step at a time. And do not underestimate the power of a single step. Even the smallest action, taken with purpose, carries you closer to your dream. Read one page of that book. Make one phone call. Save $1. Spend 1 hour learning. Every action, no matter how small, matters. Because action builds confidence, and confidence builds momentum. And momentum, once created, becomes almost impossible to stop. Each morning, declare with convictions, today, I take one step closer to my dream. It does not matter how far away that dream seems. It does not matter how many obstacles stand in your way. What matters is that today you move forward. Progress is not measured by speed, it is measured by direction. And as long as you are moving toward your dream, even if it is just one step, you are winning. There will be days when the step feels insignificant. There will be days when progress is invisible. But understand this: consistency is more powerful than intensity. It is better to take one small step every day than to run a marathon once a year. Daily effort compounds. Just as water carves stone drop by drop, your steady actions shape your destiny. And as you take those steps, something powerful happens inside you. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to see evidence of your growth. Your belief strengthens. Your resilience deepens. And the dream that once seemed distant begins to feel inevitable. Because success is not a sudden event. It is the result of hundreds, thousands of deliberate steps taken over time. Do not be discouraged by how far you still have to go. Instead, celebrate how far you have come. Every step is a victory. Every small action is proof that you are moving, and movement is everything. Even the tiniest step forward is infinitely more powerful than standing still. So let this be your daily mantra. Today, I take one step closer to my dream. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, no excuses, no delays. Just one step, and then another. And until one day, you look back and realize that those steps, those small, seemingly insignificant choices, have carried you all the way to the summit of your dream. The journey will not always be easy. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But if you keep stepping forward, no matter how slowly, no matter how small the step, you cannot fail, because success is not reserved for those who never stumble. It is reserved for those who never stop. The distance between you and your dream is not measured in miles. It is measured in steps. And the first step, the next step, the most important step is the one you take today. So rise with purpose, walk with determination, and remind yourself of this unshakable truth today. I take one step closer to my dream. And if I keep stepping, one day I will arrive. As the sun rises each morning, the world offers you a blank page, a new chance to write the story of your life. What you choose to write on that page will be shaped not by luck, not by circumstance, but by the thoughts you hold, the beliefs you nurture, and the words you speak to yourself every single day. And that is why these daily affirmations, these 9 truths, are not mere words. They are a code of life, a blueprint for greatness, and a compass that keeps you on the path to your destiny. Each one of them is a seed. And like all seeds, they require care, consistency, and faith to grow. You cannot speak them once and expect transformation overnight. You must repeat them, live them, embody them, and allow them to sink deep into your consciousness. Over time, they will take root, and from them will grow strength, clarity, discipline, and unstoppable momentum. When you say, I am the architect of my life. You reclaim control over your future. You stop waiting for permission and begin designing the destiny you deserve. When you affirm, my thoughts create my reality, you understand that the power to shape your circumstances begins within your own mind, and that the outer world is merely a reflection of your inner state. When you declare every day, in every way, I am improving, you embrace progress over perfection and commit to becoming just a little better than you were yesterday, knowing that small steps lead to monumental change. When you whisper, I will persist until I succeed, you ignite an unbreakable spirit within you, a refusal to quit no matter how many times you fall, knowing that each setback is simply a setup for your next triumph. When you remind yourself, I think and act with faith, not fear, you shift your energy from limitation to possibility, from hesitation to action, from doubt to destiny. When you proclaim, I am the master of my mind and emotions, you rise above the chaos of reaction and become the calm force that shapes your circumstances instead of being shaped by them. When you believe, I am worthy of success and abundance, you erase the false limits you once accepted and allow yourself to receive the wealth, joy, and fulfillment that life is waiting to offer you. And when you promise, today I take one step closer to my dream, you anchor yourself in action, knowing that success is not built in a day, but built daily. These are not just affirmations. They are commands to your subconscious mind. They are declarations of who you are and who you are becoming. And as you repeat them, not as empty words but as truths, your identity will begin to transform. You will stop seeing yourself as a victim of life and start living as the creator of it. You will stop asking, can I? And start declaring, I will. You will stop fearing the future and start building it. Understand this success is not a single event. It is not something that happens suddenly, in one dramatic moment. Success is a daily practice, a series of thoughts, choices, and actions repeated with purpose. And these daily affirmations are the foundation of that practice. Speak them every morning as you rise. Speak them when doubt tries to creep in. Speak them when the world tries to convince you to quit. Because the more you speak them, the more they become your reality. One day, you will look back and realize that the person who once hesitated, doubted, and delayed is gone. In their place stands someone stronger, wiser, and unstoppable, someone who lives by design, not by default. And that transformation will not have happened by accident. It will be the result of the daily truths you chose to believe, the steps you chose to take, and the persistence you refuse to abandon. So let this be your daily creed, your promise to yourself. I am the architect of my life. When my thoughts create my reality. Every day, in every way, I am improving. I will persist until I succeed. I think and act with faith, not fear. I am the master of my mind and emotions. I am worthy of success and abundance. Today, I take one step closer to my dream. Speak these words with conviction. Live them with intention, and soon they will no longer be affirmations. They will be your truth. Your life is waiting. Your potential is limitless. Your dream is calling. And the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is the decision to start today. So rise each morning, speak your creed, and walk boldly toward the life you were meant to live. Because the future does not belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who believe, persist, and act. And from this day forward, that person is you.